So this is embarrassing. I appear to have broken into a military airbase, climbed inside something classified, and pulled the door shut behind me. There is a bank of 5 hidden headlamps in the nose. The whole thing is barely 3.5 feet tall. The door went up instead of out. I am fairly certain I am sitting in a prototype stealth aircraft that somebody forgot to give wings to. Then I look at the badge on the steering wheel. 2 wings, 1 name. Aston Martin. It is 1980, and this is the Bulldog. Let us go back to the end of the 1970s, when Aston Martin was in a strange mood. The company had nearly died in 1975, been rescued by a small group of businessmen, and was now run by a chairman named Alan Curtis, who had decided that what Britain really needed was proof that Aston Martin could still frighten people. So he authorized a car with one job: be the fastest road car on Earth. Internally, it was called DPK-9, which is a joke about the robot dog from Doctor Who, because British engineers cannot help themselves. The name it wore in public came from the Scottish Aviation Bulldog, a training aircraft that Curtis flew himself. That tells you everything about the mindset in the room. This was a car being designed by people who thought in terms of aviation rather than motoring. The shape came from William Townes, the man responsible for the Lagonda, and he did not soften anything. The Bulldog is a wedge, a flat, unbroken, almost cruel wedge, 1 meter and 9 centimeters tall, which is roughly the height of a kitchen counter. The doors are gullwings. The headlights are hidden behind a panel that flips down out of the nose like something arming itself. Aston Martin took one look and decided to build between 15 and 25 of them. Under the back sat a 5.3-liter V8, the same basic engine from the V8 Vantage, handed over to the engineers with instructions to do something unreasonable to it. What they did was bolt on 2 Garrett turbochargers. Contemporary figures put it around 600 horsepower. Some accounts claim 700. In 1980, when a Ferrari 512 BB made around 360, either number is absurd. The target was 237 miles per hour. There is no elegant way to explain how large that number was at the time. The fastest production car in the world was doing about 170. Aston Martin was not trying to win. They were trying to end the conversation. Testing happened at the MIRA proving ground, and the Bulldog recorded just over 191 miles per hour. That was already extraordinary, and the engineers were confident the rest was there with a longer straight and more development time. They never got either. In 1981, Victor Gauntlett took control of Aston Martin, looked at the books, and asked the question nobody at the company wanted asked. What does each one of these cost to build, and what can we sell it for? The answer was that every single Bulldog would lose money. The project was canceled. One car existed. One car is all there has ever been. Climb in, and things get stranger. There are no conventional dials. Townes had just finished the Lagonda, the car that introduced the world to digital dashboards and touch-sensitive switches, and he brought that thinking straight over. The Bulldog runs LED instrumentation, glowing red readouts, and a bank of switches that look like they belong on a mixing desk. The seats are trimmed in cream leather, because this was still an Aston Martin and somebody in the building insisted on it, so you have a cabin that is half spacecraft, half gentleman's club, and the two ideas are openly at war with each other. Visibility. Out of the back is close to theoretical. The rear window is a slot. The mirrors are tiny. You are effectively driving a doorstop with a nuclear-grade engine behind your head, which I am told concentrates the mind. The original paint was a deep metallic green over silver. A later owner had it resprayed silver, which is the automotive equivalent of painting over a fresco, and it stayed that way for decades. Here is a question that sounds unrelated. What connects the Aston Martin Bulldog to Back to the Future? The Bulldog's engineering was led by a man named Mike Losby. Partway through the project in 1979, Losby left Aston Martin. He went to work for John DeLorean as director of engineering, and the car he went to work on was the DMC-12. Think about that for a second. The same engineer in the same 18 months, working on two wedge-shaped cars with gullwing doors on two sides of the Irish Sea. Keith Martin took over and finished the Bulldog. Losby went to Belfast. The DeLorean company collapsed in 1982 in spectacular fashion. 3 years later, a film came out that made the DMC-12 the most recognizable car on the planet, and it has never stopped being famous since. The Bulldog went quiet instead. It was sold abroad, passed between private owners in the Middle East and America, and largely disappeared from view for the better part of 40 years. Two wedges, two sets of gullwing doors, one shared engineer, and completely opposite fates. So, why did Aston Martin build it? The official answer was to demonstrate engineering capability and generate publicity. The real answer is that a small company with almost no money wanted to prove it still belonged in the same sentence as Ferrari and Lamborghini, and this was the loudest possible way to say so. Judged as a business decision, it was indefensible. Gauntlett was right to kill it. Judged as a statement, it worked, because you are watching a video about it 46 years later. The story does have an ending, though, and it is a good one. In 2020, the car was bought by a collector and handed to a restoration team in Shropshire, who spent 18 months returning it to its original specification and its original green paint. Then, in June 2023, on a runway at Campbelltown Airport in Scotland, former Le Mans driver Darren Turner took the Bulldog out and ran it to 205 miles per hour. It did not reach 237. It did not need to. A car, designed in 1979 and abandoned in 1981, went over 200 miles per hour in the 21st century on its original engine after sitting still for most of its life. Aston Martin never built the other 24. There is only ever going to be this one. The information in this video was gathered from the sources shown on screen. As always, you can find them in the Google Doc linked in the description, and I would recommend going through them if you want the full story. If you enjoyed this one, hit subscribe and click on the recommended video coming up on screen. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.